Okay, hey guys, I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to show you how I do my Paw Patrol overalls. I'm going to do some Paw Patrol overalls, so to give you kind of an insight on how I design them. And then I'm going to print and cut them. And this is also will serve as a mock-up for my customer too. And this, kind of give you an insight on how I do it. So I got these overalls from Walmart. Thank God they actually had a pair. So I find a picture of them online, and the first thing I'm going to do is get the picture of the overalls out of this white box. So I trace and detach it. I go to the trace panel. I trace and detach it. I completely color it in as clean lined as I possibly can. And then I click trace and detach. And as you can see, this is the back of the overalls. So once I'm done with that, then I'm left with just a picture of just the overalls. So I go to my overalls and I take an accurate measurement of the overalls. And I think my overalls were 35 inches long. So I go here and I tell it that they were 35 inches long because these are 4T overalls. I'm sorry, lock so it'll stay within the way it's supposed to be. And they were 35 inches. And they were and as they are laying flat like this, they were 14 inches wide. So now why they did 19, I have no idea. So we're gonna say 36 over here on my mat, and then we're gonna say 16, just in case that's part of the reason why it decided that it didn't want to do 35, and it still doesn't want to do 35. I don't know if that's some kind of update that they have going on, so I will just stretch it to 35. And you can see kind of like that it automatically, when you stretch it, it kind of, this is the way that it's laying on my table. So it's already at just about 14 inches wide. Okay, close enough. So that's where we are. Okay, so this is life size of what the pants are that are on my table. I will do the back the same way in just a little bit, but we're going to focus on the front for right now. So now that I have an actual life-size picture of what is going on in my pants, you can create the design and have the correct size of the design that you're going to print and cut. So you don't have to take any more measurements, because whatever goes on these pants, because everything is proportionate, it's going to be pretty proportionate. So whatever you put on the screen, you're going to be able to go over to your machine and cut it and not have to worry about it being too big or too little. And I do it all the time. This is the way we do it. So I merge and I type in my Paw Patrol, pull up all my Paw Patrol characters. And this is for a little boy. So I'm more than likely I'm gonna be using all boy characters. So we'll start with Marshall. And because of my niece, I know all the character names. She is a huge Paw Patrol and PJ Masks fan. So as you see, Marshall is in a gigantic box as well. In order for this to cut accurately with the print and cut, we need to go to the trace panel here as well. You're going to do this with all the characters pretty much. Trace and detach them. So when you get ready to do your print and cut, it will be a proper print and cut, and it won't cut out your character in a box. So we pull Marshall out of the box, and as you see, the points now are around him, and you can throw that box away. You don't need it. So we're gonna put Marshall on the lid, and we're gonna cut off some of Marshall's front feet. So let's zoom in here. So you see Marshall his feet is sticking off here. Well, yeah, we're gonna cut a little bit of his feet and a little bit of his backpack and a little bit of his tail. So we don't need all of that. So what I like about Photoshop is that you can just do a clipping mask and then you ain't got to worry about it. You can do that in Silhouette as well. So I'm gonna show you how to do a clipping mask, and then I'm gonna show you two ways. So we're gonna duplicate this set of overalls, move it over here. We're gonna select both Marshall and the overalls, and we're gonna do divide. And as you see, now all the pieces of Marshall that I don't want have been cut out. And you can delete all of this, or you can save it, because usually that's what I do. And I just keep going. So now I put him on and move him to the front, and then I reposition him on the pant leg the way I want him, just like that. And as you see when you zoom in, he's already cut the way I need him to be cut to be on the pant leg. Okay, so that's one way. So let's pull in Chase. So we got Chase right here. And we're going to put Chase right there, like so. Okay. And then we'll keep going. Okay, so just open up the folder where all my stuff at. Thank you. I like Marshall and Ryder playing. Oh, we've got to cut him out. Gotta remember that, because I get to the cutting part and then it'll throw me for a loop, because now I got to trace and detach him before I could do anything with him. So go ahead and do that. If you go ahead and do that in the beginning, then you won't have to worry about it later. So like I said, I just kind of build it up. I'm gonna show y'all the other way too. Don't think I've forgotten. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one, because that's disturbing my line of sight. Okay, while you're doing this, keep in mind the size that you're making of your characters. Like, say for instance, Marshall is pretty big on this leg, but I do see that he's 6 by 10.79. That means that he will fit on an 8.5 by 11 piece of dark transfer paper. So I don't want to go out of the confines of whatever the size of my dark transfer paper is. I'd use 11 by 17. That's the biggest size I use of dark transfer, but I want to make sure that none of my characters go outside of those parameters or whatever size dark transfer that I'm using. So I want to keep it in 8.5 by 11, and that way I can put 2 or 3 images to one 11 by 17. So just keep that in mind as well. So we stick them right there. They're cool. Okay. Like so. Let's find he's gonna be like this. So it kind of just cuts all of half of his body off. So this is where I'm gonna show you the second one. Okay, second way. You see where you get a line for where the pants and the puppy meets. So if you take your knife tool and you say you draw a straight line, and let's say you see this grayish line right here. If you cut that, then you're cutting the actual overall picture. So come on the side of that, hold your shift key down and cut straight, and it'll keep it straight for you, and just cut him off like that. Forgot. And again, I forgot to trace and detach him. That is important. So now that I trace and detach him, then they'll leave it, and there we go. So it is very important to trace and detach, as you obviously see that you got to get that. So we'll line him up with the seam of these pants. And I'm probably going to drop Marshall down a little bit more because I see that the seam is not quite where it's supposed to be. And so I don't want Marshall to be bigger than the seam of the pants. So let me go back in here and make sure that Marshall falls. As you probably can't see because the picture is kind of distorted, but that is the seam of the pants right here. And that means that that's going to be on the side of the leg, just like this is going to be on the side of the leg. So you don't want him on either one of those seams. You want him to sit in those seams so you can make sure that he fits properly and it's not too big for the item you're doing. So let me just come down just a little bit just to be sure that I'm in parameters of where I'm supposed to be. And then I pull him a little further down. So there we go. So then we're going to add probably one more character to the leg, which we don't have him. So let's see, can we see what else we got before I do that. Do we have Chase? Oh yeah, we got Chase. We got the green one. So I don't really need to do him. We do not have him though. So let me do the same thing for him. I have no idea what the orange one name is. I think the yellow one is Rubble. I don't know what the orange one name is. I wish Briley was here so she can make sure she gets her TT correct and tell me exactly what their names are. But I don't want to get fussed at by a 3-year-old for not knowing. So we won't tell her that I have no idea. Because they get really violent. They get really upset if you don't know these little puppies' names. And I just don't want to get in a fight with a 3-year-old. She's pretty adamant about them and me knowing them. Okay. So all right. So there we go. And essentially this is the design. I may show them this. And this is basically saying I'm gonna do splatter paint because it dries faster. Oh, it's right here. You just can't see that it's right there. See that? And so this is to let my customer know that I'm doing splatter paints. And splatter painting is essentially what I said. It is exactly the way it sounds. I take some paint and I splatter it on the pants. Let's not do that right there. So not them. I want the paint. Duplicate the paint. Oh, they just want to be in the way, huh? And so I just add different colors of splatter paint. My goodness. That's why I'm clicking everything but what I'm trying to click, y'all. Okay. Let me see what color I'm going to make this one. And so, alright. So you say, what are you going to do for the top part? Now, what I do for the top part is I usually take the pocket off. I use a seam ripper. I take the pocket off, and then I put a design at the top. So that's what I'm about to do for this. Okay, let's see. Let's see, can I find one? Nope. Nope. Not what I was looking for. I wanted him peeking. But I guess if I spell it right, then it may help him. Okay, cool. Somebody has a version of it. Ah, that's on eBay. Y'all may be able to, y'all might be finna get some good stuff. Okay, hold on. Okay, so yeah. Alright, so we're gonna copy this image. I'm gonna teach y'all how to create an SVG from a PNG. Alright, so this is a PNG, not PNG, a JPEG that I got off the internet. This is what you do. You go to open a trace panel, and you're gonna trace by color. And we just start with hat. You're gonna move it up here, and you actually can do all areas, and then it'll just get everything that's that color or close to that color. Trace it. Okay. So now you got all the blue areas, and then you can do yourself a favor by go ahead on and coloring it that blue, so you know that's what it is. Okay. Okay. So then you're going to do his ears, which are in all the things of him that make him brown. You do all areas. Increase the threshold here, and you see how now it colors in all those areas, and it gives you a good crisp coloring line. That's what most important part. In this box that's around it, you just say release compound path, and you delete the box, and then you says make compound path, and then you come here and you pick the same color that you have, and then you color everything back. Okay, then you put it where it's supposed to go. We're layering here. So the same way you would layer with vinyl, we're creating these layers as we take out each component of the JPEG we just got offline. So we go back to the modify panel, we trace this tan color here, and we say all areas, and then of course, so now we got everything else, right? So okay, so again, just click trace. Alright, it picked up some spare colors or some spare marks right here. We're going to get those out. So we're going to say release compound path. And we're going to delete those because we don't need that. And then we're going to group everything back. Oh, we got one in his eye right here. We don't need that. And the reason why we want to take those speckles out is because if you don't, and say you want to save this to actually cut and layer Chase at some point, this Chase Paw Patrol character at some point, your machine will try to cut all those little speckles and make it a cutting nightmare for you if you try to do that. So you want to make sure that it is a very, very clean cut. And if you're selling it, you definitely want to make sure it's a clean cut, because there's nothing worse than getting somebody that don't know how to create an SVG and they got all this D dots everywhere. You got to clean all of that out. Okay, so now we got this part in there. Okay. Oh, we got to move this up some. And I got to move this brown part up some. Okay, now we got it. You can see we building them up here. Okay, and what did I have? Okay, I don't have his paw here, his emblem here, and I don't have this part here. So let's do that. Okay, then get it correct. So you got to make sure you click on the right thing. So maybe I need to zoom in a little bit more and hit trace. And you see it's picking up color around him too, because it's kind of gray. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We just need to focus on what we actually need and make sure that that's clean. And do a trace. Okay. Alright, so then when you pull him out, you see all this excessive stuff that you don't need. Release compound path. It may take it a minute because there's a lot of stuff we don't need. And then you pick out what you do need. Make compound path. And leave everything else that you don't need behind. Get the color. Oh, you can't. It's the same color as the gray background. That's why you can't see it. But it's right. It's there. Okay. You don't need any more of this. Delete that. And that. And anything else that's on. But you do need this. Make compound path. Move that over here. I think I deleted a part that I may have needed. So we're just gonna just get that part. Okay. Okay, none of this we need. Trash it. Okay, now for the yellow part of his hat and of the star. Trace it. And then make that yellow. And so now we're here with it. Okay. And then we need to get his eyes. because it's considered white, okay? So, like I said, don't worry about it. Just get what you're supposed to get and make sure that it's clean lines and hit trace. Everything else we're going to delete. We don't need it. What we need is his eyes. Yeah. And we're going to make that white. Okay. We don't need this. Now, we've pretty much got everything we need color-wise. Now, here's the big part. The big important part. Select all these pieces, right? I take the lining out behind, okay? And then group them so they don't move. And then hit offset, right? And you see all of these areas got little circles around them, right? So drop the offset down to 0.8. Looks like we can come in even further than that. So let me go all the way down to 0.2. You see that? All right, click apply. And all the ones that touch each other are going to merge together. So we're going to move this out of the way. You see all of these excessive lines? We don't need that. So release the compound path and move this outer portion. All of this right here, we don't need it. Delete it. Now, this is the best part because then that's when the whole thing's going to come together. And we're going to turn that black, take the outline, and then voila. Voila. Now you have an actual cut file of the entire, where did my necklace go? Oh, let's go back a couple of stages, people. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what happened to my necklace. And why is it sitting like that instead of sitting like this? So instead of asking questions, trying to figure that out, I will retrace the boo parts. I got to be able to see it. It's just not where I can see it. And I think that's part of the problem. Like even right here with the necklace part, I can't see it. And so now you can see that it's crooked and everything else. So okay, now let's try this. And you can see now how all of this is just was really crooked, so it made the design really bad. Okay. Whew, much better. I may not even need this now. Okay, now let me delete this and let me redo. Let's group it, and now let's redo the offset so everything can be straight. .02, not 0.2. 0.02. And click apply, and let me move this out of the way. Take out all this stuff we don't need. Let's do it right this time. Why is the ear here? Why is the hand cut off? Why are all these things going wrong? Okay. This just doesn't want to cooperate with me today. Okay, much better. Okay. Alrighty now. Oh boy. Chase made that really difficult. So now, seriously, now you have a full picture, a full SVG of Chase. So if you ever wanted to lay vinyl and it looked like Chase, then here you go. This is how you do it. You got all the different colors, all the different layers. This is how you do it. I just really kind of wanted him to kind of be up here like this, and I wanted to put SCH. Let's see how I spell the baby name. Okay, this is how you spell his name. Here we're gonna do impact. I probably do his name in red. And then put his name here. Oopsies. Forgot I did not group that situation. So let me move this, group him, and then put it back. Okay. So I say now I know what exactly this is going to look like, and so the customer, because these are, like I say, actual dimensions. Actual dimensions of this project. So on the back, more than likely, I'm going to put birthday boy and his age. I honestly don't like doing that because I really like for the kids to wear the clothes after the fact. But I do realize that he's a baby, so he's gonna grow out of these anyway. So he probably has about a year in these before he can't wear them anymore anyway. And so, ooh, I don't remember the age. I don't remember the age. And she didn't text it to me. Always get your customer to to text things to you, because you will forget, and you need a reference. You need to be able to go back and reference. And I'm not able to go back and reference. So I'm going to have to message her tomorrow and ask her what is his age, so I can have these done on time. So I probably would sit that about right there. Put it up here in this space here. Let me make sure these are 35 long. Nope. This is giving me a false. Yeah, false sense of the actual size that I have to work with. So yeah, that's gonna have to sit right there. I could probably bring it even lower so I can make it so move the space. Oh, and by the way, I'm working in Silhouette Studio. I most of the time I forget to say that I don't have a Cricut. I would never purchase a Cricut. I mean, I had a Cricut when I very first got started about 5 years ago. I had a Cricut, but I don't use a Cricut. I don't know how to do this in Cricut. So if you know how to do this in Cricut, or you understand what I'm saying, then you will have to adjust it for Cricut measurements, because I don't use Cricut, or the way Cricut does things as far as cleaning the image up when you when you pull in a PNG and you're able to clean up the area around, select the area around it, and then take the background out and be left with just the picture for the print and cut. It's been years since I used Cricut, so I have literally forgotten how to do that. So don't hold it against me. I just don't remember. I think this baby is 5. I'm pretty positive she said 5, but I will confirm with her tomorrow. So we're gonna put the 5 up here, and we're gonna put the 5 on the back, just like this. So essentially, this is the design. I may add a few characters to the back pocket. Like I like this though. Okay. Okay. Oh crap. Hold on. I forgot I actually created this in Silhouette, so okay, let me just slide this over. Okay. So let me show you how I fix this. I must have just erased the name out of the inside of this. But how you fix this is you add an offset. Oh. first. You trace and you detach it first. I tell y'all that's the most important rule, and then I never do it first. Okay, now. Okay. Okay. Alright, now that I have traced and detached that, and I need to get rid of all of this, now I can add a white offset behind it, and then you won't see, the offset is great for many reasons. Well, I'm gonna release the cover. I don't really need to. Let me put this all together before I do an offset. So I think bring to the front. Okay. Definitely a brighter red. Ugh. Ugh. That's horrible. I'm so used to more vibrant colors and stuff like that in Photoshop that this is throwing me off. So I'm probably gonna change this to Birthday Boy because his name is on the front. Nah, we'll put his name on the back. And then put Birthday Boy on the front. So throw this out. Put him back where he was. Group this whole. What is this? Get out of the way. What are you? Just a random box? Okay, pull that out of the way. Group this whole situation together and then shrink it down to go on the back. Oh, wait. We got to offset. Forgot. Where is this box coming from? Oh, Marshall. I swear, I told you guys that making sure that these characters have been traced and detached is monumentally important. I'm thinking of changing my design now that I see this because I want it to be big and not super small. So I think I'm going to move him to the back with the phrase Birthday Boy. Like that, and move this to the front. Wait, let me offset this first. Oh, crust. Come on. Don't even know what that is. And then put this on the front. Yeah, much better. Much better. Okay. Yeah, and I'll probably just add. Oh, how I miss the lock feature. You can lock it on in here, but in the layers tab, I think you can lock it. But yeah, I just into the front. I don't think I cut them out. Let me do that. I can't remember whether I did it or not, so let's just make sure. Yeah, that's probably why they would be obnoxiously in my way. So yeah, duplicate that, and then throw it, and just throw, some splashes back there, so on and so forth. I doubt if I cut anything else out to go back there, because this is a rush order, so I don't really have time to really make it, extra nice, because this is a rush order and they waited to the last minute to order. So I'm not really gonna, go all out for this one, because if I had a little bit more time, then I would go all out, but I really don't have time to, line stuff all the way down the back of the leg and, do all of that, great stuff that I usually do. I may use some fabric spray paint on here or something like that. I don't like, some people do regular spray paint. I don't, because to me it makes your clothes stiff. So and after you wash it a couple times, yeah, but when you first get it, for me it feels stiff, so I try to use fabric spray paint. Fabric, yeah, it comes with fabric spray paint, so I try my best. So the design, I'm gonna go ahead and set it up to print and cut. So I have 11 by 17. Let me change my paper size from 11 to 11 by 17. Let me turn my mat on, because you have to turn your mat on. Let me turn it to 12 by 24. Okay, let me turn my guidelines on. Drop it down to 0.39. Give me all the space I need that I can get. Oh, why is that still in the way? Okay. Okie dokies. Wait, okay, show cut border. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so now I can kind of start putting the stuff that I want to cut and getting it on the page. And I could just try to get as many pictures as I need on the page. Now, what I usually do is let me go back and do this before I do that. Okay. Okay, so this is what I usually do. Duplicate and then group and then sit this over here so I can remember what the design is, because I'm gonna take it apart. So now I don't need this. Now I can go ahead back to setting everything up back on the paper. Oopsies. Wait a minute. I left the offset behind. Be sure you got all your pieces. I don't want to group it, because I'll show you why I don't want to group it shortly. So get him in here. Okay. Get them in here. I think I had them in here earlier. Let's see who else. Can I fit him down here? If my daughter was in here, you hear me? She would get all of them in here. I don't know how that crazy girl is able to get all of these things on one piece of paper, but if she could get it all on one piece of paper, I promise you she would. Let me see, can I turn him sideways? And I can, and get him on here. But then that leaves Marshall out in the cold, so I might as well. Nah, I can't mess up one piece though. Okay. I don't need these splatters because I'm going to actually make the splatters myself. Maybe I have an 8.5 piece somewhere where I can just stick Marshall on there by himself. Or I will put him on the back with this. Because I'm not going to actually cut this part out in vinyl. I'm going to cut birthday out in vinyl, but I'm not going to cut him out in vinyl. So I probably put it all together on over here on the page with Marshall. So we're going to send this to cut. All right, so you see a few things, especially this right here. So this is how I do this, because it's basically putting cut lines around everything, and I don't need cut lines around everything. I select it all and say no cut. Then I zoom in, select just my white offset, if you could see it, and do cut edge. There's some weirdness in the background. I wonder why all that is in there. Oh, hold on. Now I did something, mess something up. Okay, so that gives me my offset. Problem is that my offset is reading. Why is it reading the inside of? Oh, because I still haven't selected my actual offset. So, okay. Of course, you can't see it because it's white. So let me turn my lines back on so I can at least see this. Get all this out the way before, because it should be one clean cut around it. It shouldn't be all the other stuff that's on the inside. So that, like I said, that lets me know that I didn't have my my offset selected. So cut edge, and this part right here, no cut. So now you see that now it's just cutting just the edge of this particular one. And if you don't want that thick line, you don't have to have that thick line. You can actually click on it, click on that, and then just do cut. So it'll look, there you go. So it'll look like everything else. You have to zoom in a little bit so you can see it, but you'll be able to see it. I don't know which part is moving, because I want this part to move. Let me do this. Nope, don't want it to fit to window. I want it to make sure it's aligned. Okay, never mind. I will have to go back to the design screen to make sure it's aligned, and I don't want to do all of that. So, as you can see, my Cameo is not turned on, so I'm gonna go turn it on, and I'm gonna zoom out so we can make sure that no lines are touching and nothing's gonna get cut off. His ear is gonna get cut off, so we need to bring him down. Bring them down. Oop, bit too much. Move him over just a little. Give the blade just enough space. Bring him down just a little. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. First and foremost, let's print. We're going to go to my Canon printer, which prints. Go to standard here. Paper. And let's go to 13 by 19. Okay. Yeah. I like to go in my page setup and make sure it says portrait. Make sure all of those things are taken care of. I click apply. And I will turn my silhouette on while I'm over here and grab some dark transfer paper. Okay. Again, the brand of dark transfer paper that I use that is 11 by 17 is PPD, which stands for Photo Paper Direct. I buy it from Amazon, but you can definitely order from Photo Paper Direct. To me, they take forever and a blue moon to send you something. So I stopped ordering from them. I ordered from them like one time, and it took me like 3 weeks to receive that dark transfer. And I was like, never again. I will order it through Amazon and get it the next day or two. Now, I don't have a problem with waiting for anything because I understand that the mail takes a long time, but I run a business. I can't wait 3 or 4 weeks for things, and I have to, and because of that, I have to get the place that ships the fastest, which is Amazon tends to ship fastest. Even they are a little slow now, whereas I used to get stuff in like a day. Now it's taking me like 3 days to get stuff from Amazon, which is better than it was during the pandemic, but this is where we are. So we're waiting on this to print. It's loading to print, and once we do that, I'm going to load it into the silhouette, and I'm going to print, and I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to press these on the pans. They need these tomorrow, so I'm going to go ahead and get finished with these tonight, and it doesn't take that long. And then after I press everything on, I will do some splatter paints around it and let them dry overnight, and essentially this outfit will be done. Most times I take a little bit longer on these because I tie-dye or I fabric paint or I create little designs, and I usually really just take my time with these. Like I said, these are rush orders, so I really don't get the opportunity that I want to take with these. So when I cut this with my silhouette, I do heat transfer printable, and I switch my blade to ratchet blade. I was on Facebook the other night, and someone asked about, they can't get their Cameo to cut through material and so on and so forth. For some strange reason, in my opinion, after a while, Cameos, like, their pressure gets off for some reason. And so right now, as you see, this blade is set at a 1. And so the force is supposed to be an 8 force to cut that out. Some reason it just doesn't apply pressure like that anymore. So I dropped my blade down to like a 7 or an 8, and then I let it do the force or increase the force. I don't usually change the force. I just change the blade, and whatever I leave it set at, I leave it set there, like I said, and I just cut it as a ratchet blade. And what ratchet blade means is that you manually set your own blade length, and the auto blade feature is turned off. So yes, I have an auto blade in my silhouette, but I never use it as an auto blade. I always use it as a ratchet blade, and I just sit where I want it so it could always cut through the material that I'm using properly. But that's only if the blade is at a decent length for it to do so. That's how I do that. All right, so that printed, but of course it printed wrong. So it printed wrong as crap. Why, I don't know. But we're gonna print it again. I hate wasting material. Alright, let's check all the necessary so on and so forth again, because for some strange reason it decides to. So I know that it's 11 by 17 and I got that set up correctly. So let's go to print again, printer preferences, and oh, I did that wrong. 11 by 17. I set it as 13 by 19, so that's my fault. Paper quality standard. If you want more color in the paper, you can set it at high, and then it'll be more color in the paper. But I just set mine to normal. Apply, print. Okay, so that was my fault right there. I gotta redo it because I set it to the wrong thing. Okay. Okay. Waiting on it to print again. Okay. Printing again. Okay. Okay, print it right this time. Print it right. Okay. So, why did I do that? Gotta go cut. Okay, and my silhouette decided to connect. All right, I am in the game. All right, guys, so I will show pictures at the end of what the finished project looks like. And I may even throw in a few clips of my silhouette actually print and cutting the material. And so I will see you guys next time. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any comments or questions, post them in the comments below. As always, this stuff is on my website. So if you want to purchase these design sets, they are on my website, www.creationsbymk.com. See you guys next time.